Hello, I'm Lance Cardoza, and thank you for joining us here at BusinessStreetOnline.com for Business Leaders Live. This week we celebrate David Childers of ACEL, Academy for Civic, Entrepreneur, and Leadership. But before that, our good friends from the Save Mart Center have a surprise in store for you.
Cirque du Soleil invites you to discover Alegria. A powerful spectacle that has enchanted over 10 million people the world over. Don't miss a true classic from Cirque du Soleil, Alegria, presented by iShares. Coming soon at Save Mart Center from May 27 through 30. Get your tickets today at cirquedusoleil.com.
What we'd like to do as business leaders, we like to find out about the personal side of the business leader and find out what led you today to what you do. And first, let's maybe give the people watching at BusinessStreetOnline.com a little idea of what the school is all about.
Sure. Well, ACEL, the Academy for Civic and Entrepreneurial Leadership, was actually a project that started several years ago. There were some community leaders who were concerned that a lot of the high school graduates in the Fresno area weren't necessarily prepared for the challenges of the workforce and higher education, as well as very concerned about the dropout rate and the other buzzword being the brain drain. So they had this idea to try to create a charter school that would address all of those things in one setting. And so they had an advisory board that they had put together, a lot of key people in the community from the nonprofit world, Fresno State, Fresno Pacific. Some local leaders came together and kind of formulated some ideas of what that school would look like. And so this was probably, a lot of that legwork was back in 2005, 2006. They attempted to open in August of 2007, and unfortunately were not able to get off the ground. And I came on board about a year later, and we opened this August 2009-2010 school year with a 9th grade only class of we're about 52 kids right now, and we're just heading down the home stretch of year one.
Wow. Let's roll back in time and talk about the road to ACEL. and I'm saying it right too, right?
ACEL, yes, thank you.
Where did David first start, and what was your inspiration to go where you are today?
Well, I started as a teacher, as most administrators do. Not all, most, the vast majority. And I was on a certain career path. I had a long background in journalism, and still write on the side when I can, and love journalism. But I kind of had a life change that led me to a job at an elementary school in Madera, where I'm from, and I just instantly became enamored with the power of working with young people and how exciting it was, and how much their energy you feed off of that. And so I changed my major, decided to go into teaching. At the time I thought I wanted to teach elementary school because that's the only school I'd really worked in. And along the way I got my credential at Fresno State, finished up over there, and one of the first jobs that I interviewed for was with a former teacher of mine who became a principal at a middle school in Madera. And it was a school I'd had some experiences with previous to teaching, and they weren't necessarily positive experiences. And I'd even at one point, someone had asked me, well, where do you want to work? And I had said anywhere in the district except the school that I ended up working at. So I learned my lesson there about making those blanket statements.
Sort of like our friend Jeff Eben,
Yes, yeah. No matter what I do, I won't do this.
He didn't want to be the president of the school, but it was the most life-changing thing for him.
Yeah, you just end up in a spot, and it was a just fantastic play. I mean, my former teacher had come in and really done a great job changing the issues that had been there before him that I had experienced as a coach. And so I just fell in love with, it's the best kept secret in education, is that 7th and 8th graders, especially 7th graders, are a lot of fun to work with. I mean, they're at an age where, yeah, there's some attitude, but if you know how to handle them and you go with the flow, it's just really enjoyable to work with them. And
7th and 8th grade level, that's a life-changing moment.
Yeah.
They could go one way or the other, I would think.
Very pivotal. And that's what I think is really, it's really rewarding. I mean, and I've always been about relationships, and so I've had some really cool things lately. I mean, just recently got to celebrate college graduation with one of my first 7th graders,
wow.
And you get some great feedback. I mean, the video program in particular, I mean, we did a service for the school, and that was rewarding, but sometimes parents would just come up and say, my daughter, when she went into your video class, was a poor communicator. She was shy. She didn't have confidence, and I don't even recognize her anymore. And so when you hear stuff like that, that's addicting. And so from the original, I highly encourage folks to come in, even though we will be changing facilities, and we will be hopefully announcing that soon. It's still great. You come in and meet the teachers that we already have on staff, see the program in action. It's very different than what people are used to seeing. There's no textbooks. We create all of our own curriculum. It's still standards addressed for the state, but how we deliver that is very different. There's a lot of technology, project-based, not testing-based. So it's really something I think people need to come in and see for themselves. And I think when we take people on tours and they see it's almost instant whether that works for them or not, and we can kind of tell if this is going to be a good fit, and this is a student who's going to probably come here, or now that they've seen it, it's not exactly what they thought, and that's great. We'd rather find that out now than down the road. And they can visit the website and find out more. That's www.ACEL-Fresno.org.
And with being in education, and the challenges are always, one, I want to hit two things before we wrap up here. The challenges that you face, just like the public school system. The other part is the exciting news that's coming up. One thing we do know, that it's going to be in downtown Fresno.
We know that for sure.
And that's an exciting thing, and you've championed that and held on. And we only have just a couple minutes here, but if you can just give us a recap on that.
On the location? I've been looking, I was officially full-time in January of '08. I started working kind of dual roles before that. I've literally been doing the real estate thing since then, and it's a very complicated process that I really had no idea. Coming from regular schools, you don't deal with that real estate market. And but all along the way, we've been committed to downtown Fresno. We're excited about what's happening in downtown Fresno. I've worked closely with Craig Sharton and his office. They've been fantastic supporters for the project. And really, it's been a long and winding road, and we've had some ups and downs and some disappointments. But I think when we're able to make that big announcement, hopefully next week, that it's all going to be very well worth it, and we're going to have a fantastic facility right in the heart of downtown, and we're going to get to be in the middle of everything as it's a renaissance. It's going to happen. Right now, the energy is there, and we're confident that it won't be downtown Fresno that we all know and recognize.
And we applaud you for that. BusinessStreetOnline.com, we focused on youth downtown, getting those younger entrepreneurs downtown to really buy in, and we applaud you for that, for staying
absolutely
focused on
that was a non-negotiable for me, is we have to find a way to make it work in downtown. And I don't care if we're in a rundown office building, if we have to be there, we want to be a part of that, and we want our students invested in it, because they're going to get some major payoff when they get to see everything that goes on around.
You said it, you have to think like a risk taker sometimes. We're all afraid of it, but you never know what's on the other side of each door you walk
Absolutely.
through.
And that's why I just have so much affection for our parents and our students and our staff, because everyone who's involved in this project, everyone sees me as the upfront risk taker, but there was a lot of people who took a lot of risks to be a part of this, and so I can't be any more appreciative of them than I am.
Well, perfect. Hey, thank you so
much
for being a part of the program.
Thank you. Honored to be here. I appreciate it.
And one more time, if you look straight ahead of the camera here, and just give the folks at BusinessStreetOnline.com if they're interested in the program, where they can contact you on the website.
Give us a call. It's 286-0133 or www.ACEL-Fresno.org.
And thank you for joining us again for another edition of Business Leaders Live. David,
Thanks
again, thank you.
My
It was
pleasure.
great. Grizzly Bear Studios, a beautiful place. The Psych Screen Studio is one of the largest in the Valley, and we'd like to thank Grizzly Bear Studios for helping us make this happen. Again, thank you at BusinessStreetOnline.com. We'll see you next week here Thursday at 11:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm Lance Cardoza. We'll talk to you next time.